Lower East Side was crazy when I was a kid. It was just different times. It was just so ill. Like I wish I could just go. I could just go back to the way it was. Like everybody knew each other. It was so family oriented. Like I got people telling me where the best pizzas. I'm like, yo, bro, I've been here 41 years. You ain't gonna tell me where the best pizza is in Astoria. Go pay your $3,000 rent and leave me alone, please. Get out of here with that bullshit.
Welcome to Dutchess Her Dukes, a podcast where I speak to dope-ass New Yorkers in pursuit of their dreams. I'm Dutchess, and these are my Dukes. Hi, Gregory.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming. I know it's very late for you, 7:30 p.m.
I'm gonna leave you on real quick now, but thank you for having me. It was a great trip. I'm happy to be down here. I used to be in the city all the time when I was a kid, and I was like, yeah, I need to start doing this more. Like, I'm always stuck in Astoria.
I need to start coming to Astoria. It's kind of cool, right? There's Astoria, a lot of restaurants.
You don't need to leave. That's what's hard about it. So I need to start branching out. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Gregory Partsinevelos. I'm from Astoria, Queens.
That's why I asked him to introduce himself, because I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah, my middle name is, so my full name is Gregory Raymond Partsinevelos. My father's Greek, my mother's Puerto Rican Dominican. So my name is really long. Imagine spelling that in school when you were growing up. But it's who I am. I'm proud of it. I love it. And yeah, that's me.
How did they meet?
Oof. So the story is pretty heavy. My father was working at a restaurant, and my mom was going to school by the restaurant. And my dad didn't even know English yet. And she used to come in and sit with her friends, and he started liking her pretty much. And his
very romantic.
Yeah. So his brother spoke English because he was here longer. And he told him to introduce them. So they went out on like a couple dates, and my uncle went as a translator. So my mother actually went out with him, and then they got married. That was it.
That's so cool.
They were together for 22 years. They separated when I was like 13, but yeah, they had that, that fairy tale love in the beginning. Yeah, exactly.
My parents are divorced too, but they had
it's tough. It's tough. God knows.
But okay, great. So I know that you're an actor and a host and a writer.
Yeah, I'm trying to write more now. I've been doing this for a little bit. You don't really understand the game until you do it for a little while. So now I'm like, all right, I got to create for myself and stop waiting for things to come. The pandemic really showed me that, because I lost my manager, I lost my agency, so because I didn't want to get vaccinated. So they were like, yeah, you got to.
Good for you,
yeah,
bro. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm staying alive.
Are you happy with, I don't know, this is controversial, but are you happy with the president now?
To be honest, I'm like so far away from all the politics.
Good.
So yeah, I just want to I'm all about like just treating people the way I want to be treated, and that's it. I don't really get into it, because at the end of the day, whatever we say doesn't, like, I think people, to each their own, but we spend too much energy on that, and it ain't gonna change. The powers that are above control it already. So I'd rather be good to the people around me, and
that's it.
You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. I get it. There's got to be people who fight for a cause, but that's just not me. I'm just all about like just love.
Yeah, and you know what? My dad actually said something like that like, God is love and unity. Like, devil or evil, whatever you want to call it, is division. And right now we're divided.
Yes.
And every time I watch the news, I get so agitated and upset. I decided yesterday, I had like major anxiety about what's going on. I'm like, fuck this. I can't.
Yeah, it's what you said. It's division. I mean, you make people fight. There is no division. Nobody even, the people who are on one side are really pretty much telling you got to believe in this. And then the other side is telling, it's not about making anybody believe in anything. It's about us getting along and trying to help each other at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Like, nobody helps their neighbors anymore. What you just told me about your father, like, he knows because he's been through, I could just tell. He's been through it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be through some real shit to where you're like, yo, that shit don't matter. Like, that shit don't matter to me. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my parents. I'm worried about my nieces, making real connections and goals. There's just, I think that takes us away from getting to know one another. I think that's what it's really about, right? Like, connections.
That's so cool. I'm sorry, back to writing. What are you writing? Like, I'm
just trying to write like little short films. I just spoke to my friend yesterday, 2 days ago, and I just want to start doing more like Christian-based shorts, to where it's showing like real life situations, but then a twist to where it's like your faith falls into play, kind of thing. And of course, I want to make myself the star on it, and then I would start bringing people in. I just feel like it's time for me to just start letting what I feel out in my writing. So it's something that I'm working on. I just got to find a little more time to do so. But don't get me wrong, I want to get on a series. Like, that's my goal. You know what I mean? I want to do TV, film for myself. But the writing, I think, is something where I'm finding that I have a passion for it. So
that's awesome. It's very hard. I'm a writer too, but before I forget, it's so crazy that you're telling me about this like Christian angle, because I literally was on a call for an hour earlier this morning with this girl who has her own publication company and like a production company, and she's all about Christianity. So I have to put
Did you see my eyes?
No, it's like
that's what I want.
This is like God. This is like I know that this is God. Like
no coincidence.
No coincidence. This is amazing. Yeah. Speaking of series, Crush the System.
My guy Kamal.
Yeah. I saw you in the second season. I don't remember you in the first season. Were you there?
So the first season, I was pretty much the bodyguard of Janos Topos, who was the main character.
Right.
So I didn't speak, really. It was just like I was there and, straight face and just acting like the bodyguard. I had a few lines in Greek, which I loved. And Kamal's my guy. I actually worked with Kamal on Martyr Maker. Yeah, and he helped me a lot, because when we shot Martyr Maker, I was going through like severe anxiety and depression. Like, I'm talking about, I don't even know how I shot it. And he didn't know. I told him afterwards. He probably doesn't remember now, but he helped me work through that, because I didn't want to leave my house, none of that. And it was just like he was sending me the script, and I was like, yo, I got to get this down. And all that stuff really helped me. So I'm super grateful for that. And I love Kamal. Like, he's a guy like I genuinely care about.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's very funny too. And he always works. That's one of the things that...
The Jerky Boys, like, I grew up to the Jerky Boys. We used to buy the tapes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't remember the Jerky Boys like that, but I...
Gotta look it up.
Please. I grew, like, of course I did, but, like, I grew up on, like, MTV more so. So, like, Jackass is, like, completely based off of that, so.
Jackass is fire.
I know.
I love Jackass. I still watch it. I do. I love that.
That was my brother's and mine thing. But, yeah, no, he's a very hardworking man, so I really respect that.
He's a guerrilla shooter. Like, he's the definition of, like, I just want to get it done. I want to put out what I'm feeling and do it. You know what I mean? He's not worried about all the...
He's a doer, yeah.
Yeah.
So some people, like, think about what they want to do and, like, trying to perfect it, and then nothing comes out of it. Yeah. Perfectionism is a killer of joy.
He loves it. He genuinely loves it. That's why. And you can feel that. You know
I'm actually going to be in the third season. A couple
of
scenes.
I hope we do a scene together. If he doesn't kill me off.
Oh, but right.
We'll see.
Shit.
We'll see. I love shooting with him, though. It's just too much fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So wait, how and why did you get into acting? How did it come about?
So when I was younger, we were just running around doing reckless stuff. And then my mom was like, you got to go to school. So I went to school for physical therapy.
Oh, wow.
Didn't work out. And then, I was still doing bad things, not bad things, but things to make ends meet, play basketball, enjoy my time. My mom threw me out when I was about like 22, 23. The best thing that ever happened. She was like,
rightly so,
ma'am. Was like, yeah, exactly. So I love you, Mom. Like, I say it all the time. My mom's my best friend now. So she did it for me to man up. And then
good.
I became a personal trainer for a little while, because that was making the ends meet. And then I had a friend who got me into the modeling world to like do some like boxing shoots and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm 5'7". There's no way I'm going to make a lot of money modeling. I was like, but I like this hustle. So I was like, let me take some improv classes.
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, where I was at, there was no actors. Like, nobody showed me the way. You know what I mean? I just tried to like figure it out on myself. And I was like, yo, I just want to make a way for my family, for myself. And I enjoyed it. So I took some improv classes, and then I started doing some short films. I put a reel together, got some headshots. And then I landed an agency, and I started going out. And then I was going for like Law and Order, stuff like that all the time. And I grabbed Gotham probably like 5-6 years ago.
Really?
A principal role where I was with the main character. And it was, once I did that, I was like, yeah, like, I think I could do this. Like,
oh my God, I gotta watch.
Yeah, it's season 2, episode 6. I play the character's name is Nino. So I was on that, and I did my own stunts. They had like a stunt guy for me. I was like, come on now, you don't need no stunt guy.
You did it yourself?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, jumping, running, and grabbing things. So wow. Once I experienced that and I saw that world, I was like, yeah, this is for me. Like, I just love TV, because TV's so like, let's get to it kind of thing. Filming is different. It's a little more draggy. And
I also love TV. It's so funny, because when I was like in my late 20s, my boyfriend at the time was a filmmaker, experimental filmmaker. So I went on there was like a rabbit hole of watching experimental films, so just like art films in general for like 3 years. All I did was watch films. But
that's
I
awesome.
think my core and like my genuine interests actually lie in like series. I love TV. And I love gangster movies. Like, if I had to pick, like, that's it.
Of course. That's all I watch, though. I try not to because I'm like, oh, my God. Then I'm walking in the street looking at people. I'm like, yo, you're 41 years old. Stop.
Oh, okay. I need to share this because I haven't spoken to many people about it because I know I'm late in the game. But I just finished watching all of Power, all of the books. Like, I watched the Power, like, maybe 2 years ago or last year. I don't remember. But then, like, I watched all of the others. Oh, my gosh.
Fire.
It's so good.
I mean, that's the goal. Like,
that's the shit you should.
I
like,
literally
want to see you in.
That's what I'm trying to do. Like,
and they're from Queens.
Like 50 of you watching this, bro. Like, that's really what I want to get. Like, for me, that's like, it hits home because it's stuff I've been through. So it's like when I'm acting that kind of stuff, it just comes naturally. You know, obviously, I want to play the funny guy. I want to play the best friend. Like, I want to do all that too. But if you look at me, the first thing I'm going for is the gangster roles, obviously. I do enjoy it. I don't care. Get me in. Like, I just want to work. I just want to work consistently. I want to work on my art. I want to get better. I want to work with great actors, actresses. Like, I just want to make it my life already. You know what I mean? So it's been like 10 years, I'd say, that I've been doing it. From the question you were asking earlier, but understanding the game, I'd say probably like when I was like 34, it hit me where I was like, oh, okay. Even if you make it, you don't make it. You know what I mean? Like, even the guys we see on TV, we're like, oh, they're killing it. No, they're grinding like everybody else.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like the top 25 are eating, but the rest are just scrapping. But I just want to make it my life at this point. That's what I'm waiting for.
It's so funny you mentioned that. I literally had that thought earlier when I was working Bruno that, like, who is really considered famous? Like, what's famous? Like, you know, it's really relative. Like, Rihanna is famous, but also you're famous. Like, you know, if I showed your series to someone, I don't know, a friend of mine who's not in that world, they'll be like, oh my God, that's so cool. Can I meet this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just such a relative term, and people do grind. Like, I'm sure the actors from, well, Power had like a lot of famous like
for sure,
but also regular people too, and like they definitely hustle. I don't know.
For me, it's like I could, even when people ask me what do you do, I say obviously I manage a gym in Long Island City. That's what I do to make the ends meet.
Oh, but, really?
Yeah, I love it there. I have a great staff. You know, the owners are amazing. So
that's your day job?
That's my day job.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's my day job.
It's an amazing day job.
And they're very good with allowing me to still, you know, chase my dreams. So, you know, I'm blessed in that sense to get a paycheck. But for me to say I'm an actor full time, it's got to pay my bills. Like, that's the only way I could say. To other people, it's fine. They could say whatever they want. But for me in general, like, it's got to pay all my bills. It's got to be, and then I could say I made it. You know what I mean? Or I'm an actor.
I know exactly what you mean because I'm a writer, but I actually teach creative writing at Brooklyn College, and I also do PR. So, like,
what don't you do?
It is, I know. It is writing, right? It all involves writing, but I still don't consider that writing. You know what I mean? Because, like, if I can make money from, like, if I can sell my novel, Dutchess and Her Dukes, hopefully coming out soon, that's, if I can get, like, a book deal, then I will feel like I'm a real writer.
Of course, because you're a hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your dad in you.
Yeah.
From what we just spoke about.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what happens, though. Like, that's some people are okay with not making it and still saying that. But to me, it's more like, at this point, I just got to prove it to myself that I could do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not giving
yourself.
To myself. I don't care about what anybody else says. Like, nobody's going to understand. I have so many people like, yo, why are you still chasing that? You know what I mean? Or even when I started, you know, I come from a traditional family. They didn't understand it in the beginning. But then I made them respect it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I'm going to pay my own bills. I don't need your money. Like, I'm going to do my own thing. And then still chase it. You know, I'm 41 years old. I've made a lot of mistakes. I have a lot of regrets, but who doesn't? You know what I mean? I thought I would have been a multimillionaire by now, but it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's God's plan. I'm just going to keep pushing. And, just even talking about it inspires me again. Like, that's why I'm so happy this even happened. Like, when you said that to come on the show, I was like, oh, this is what I needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To, like, spark it again.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of this show, too. Like, I want to inspire people. Like, I want to show people, you know, from the hood that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Most definitely.
Like, I come from nothing. I came here with, like, $200, like a typical, you know, American dream story. And, like, I'm doing okay for myself.
Yeah.
So that's the point. Like, it inspires me to inspire you.
Yeah.
And I get inspired talking to you, and, you know.
Well, you're inspiring me. You know, it inspires others. That's what it's all about.
It's all about that.
We got to keep that, you know, and as I get older, like, probably the last year or so when I turned 40, I was like, yo, I got to find the fire again. Like, the fire was going out. It was like, all right, I'm making a little money. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's fine. But it's like I want to get back to where I have I feel the passion, and it's been coming back like the last couple months, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I thank God for that. So
why do you think that happened? That the fire
just
was
life
distinguished.
I think life beats you up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it's what I was saying. There's a few regrets that I've had.
I really want to ask what they are. Can you share? Or would you rather not?
No. I could definitely share. I was in a really long relationship for a long time. 13,
I knew this is exactly what that conversation
12,
was.
13 years, which I fumbled.
Wow.
I fumbled it. She was an unbelievable woman. I have no regrets. I had like the Notebook love. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Don't make me red now. But it was. I regret that part. And then even with like chasing my dream, I wasn't fully present, and I was worried about playing basketball and staying fit. But I think that's part of the whole process, kind of thing. So now I wish everybody well, and I just want to just start focusing on myself again. Like, I cared a lot about chasing dreams and taking care of this and taking care of that I didn't really sit back and enjoy the process, kind of thing. Like, I wasn't staying present. And now one thing I tell myself when I wake up before I touch the floor is like, yo, thank you, God. And I just want to stay present. I just want to be as present as possible. Like, even talking to you sometimes, like, the mind plays tricks because it's having a second conversation inside, and I'm like,
totally, yes.
Shut that off, stay present, get the most out of this, and then when I leave that situation, I just feel so much more, like, passion. You know what I mean? Like, you feel like you're growing from that.
Yeah.
Just running around, staying busy, trying to like quiet everything. That's the world we live in now, and that shit is no good.
Yeah.
That shit is no good.
But it's interesting you said that you have regrets, because I also fucked up a few things in my life, but I don't have any regrets.
Yeah.
I don't regret it because I feel like that's what made me who I am today, and that's how it shaped me in a way. So if I had to do it all over again, fuck yeah, I would have done it, even though it was painful at the time. But it's like, it's fine. Like, God never gives you more than you can't handle.
Oh, for
you know what I'm saying? It's all, there's always a reason for it, and you're supposed to learn from it. Sometimes it's hard to see the lesson as it's happening,
Of course.
But there's always something to be learned from it.
Yeah, regret. I don't mean it in like a sad way to regret. I mean it more in a way like just not taking the right steps, doing the right thing. You know what I mean? But what's right and what's wrong at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure if you asked her, she had a great life too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no regrets in that sense. But chasing the dream, and I'm still gonna chase this dream. I'm gonna be 90 years old. If I have a casting call at 90, I'm with it. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, everybody always asks me, oh, when are you gonna get on? I'm like, bro, if I knew, like, it doesn't work that way. Like, there is no time for what we do. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
You get on whenever you gotta but if you're not in it, you can't get on. So that's what I tell myself.
Consistency. Just like we're working
exactly.
out. And you don't see it because it's baby steps every single day.
Yes.
But then after a year, you'll see certain results. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Now I just try to stay ready. That's what it's all about. Stay ready and try to move forward. So when the opportunity does come, at least whoever is, the casting director is, or whoever's looking at it is like, all right, he's ready. That's what I wake up and tell myself, stay ready. I can't just let go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Are you, would you be able to like say what your biggest weakness is?
My biggest weakness, comfort.
Comfort?
I'm a very, I guess I get that from like.
That's a great answer.
Coming from that traditional family style, I love being home. I love doing the same thing. I've been in the same neighborhood for 41 years.
You never lived in the
I live in so right now I'm in the same apartment. I'm in the same apartment that I moved into when my mother got rid of me from the apartment we were in. So I've been there for 20 years in the same unit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it a one bedroom?
Yeah, it's like a one bedroom pretty much.
I'm sure it's bigger than mine.
I have amazing lighting, so it's like, it's home for me, and the rent is low. It's not like I'm not going to go spend $1,000 more just to have a bigger apartment. For what? I'm a single man by myself. Like, for what? Just to say I got a nice apartment? Like, if I'm making it, then yeah. But until then, I'd rather have that extra money in my pocket.
Smart.
Try to do things, for my parents, or if I can, my nieces. Everything's expensive now, so.
Are they all in Queens?
So my sister just moved to Jersey. She's been out there with my nieces for a while, with my brother-in-law. My mother's in Bayside. My dad's in Bayside. I have a really good relationship with my godson. He's 17. He lives in Floral Park. So everybody's pretty much scattered. It's just me and one cousin left. My grandma had 10 kids on the Greek side. So I got like 35 cousins. Yeah. Typical Greek. You know what I mean? That's how it was.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So I had the best childhood. That's one thing I could like. It was amazing. With my cousins, we grew up. We're all still like brothers and sisters when we see each other. But it's just one cousin that's left in the story. Everybody else is out in Jersey. Everybody's out. It's too expensive. You can't raise a family.
No, I know. It's crazy. People are like, Williamsburg is more expensive than like the Lower East Side.
It's crazy.
It's just like, it's
I'm
insane.
meeting people who are in their 30s that have roommates. Like 30s, 40s. Like to have a roommate, that's rough. To me, that's rough.
That's really
I want to
rough.
walk around my house butt ass naked if I want to. Like I'm not 40 years old with a roommate. It's tough though. I get it.
It's so crazy, but that's the thing. Like when I lived in Brooklyn, I definitely had roommates and I had my own place. And then when I moved to Manhattan, I was 31. I want to say 31, maybe 32. And I was like, I can't. I'm going to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
If I have to get an extra job, I will. Like, I can't live with roommates.
Yeah, once you feel that freedom, it's over. Yeah.
It's over. It's just like, I can't imagine doing that. But yeah, you're right. Like, I know a lot of people do that.
It's rough.
But then, it's so expensive. Like, especially with inflation. Like, I'm not even judging. It's tough.
I haven't seen Astoria this high rent-wise.
What's the prices in Astoria?
I say for 1 bedrooms, like 2,000 and up. And then 2 bedrooms, you're looking at 24, 25 and up. 3 bedrooms, you don't even see the 3,000 no more. Like, they're up 32 and up for that. And that's like a regular building. I'm not talking about the new buildings. If you go into the new buildings that are just up, you're talking about 3 Gs for a studio, 1 bedroom.
In like one of those modern, like newly renovated places.
I went to one by where the gym that I manage. I went to go. We're actually shot with Kamal at the 7 building. I went back because I was like, yo, this is fire here. I would love to be close to work. Studio apartment, $4,200. I was like, $4,200 for what? And my view was the train. I was like, are you crazy?
I invite you to come to my fucking building and I'll show you the apartments.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And there's usually, so my 1 bedroom in other like units is like divided into 2. Mm-hmm. So there's like 2 girls living in like no living room, paying $2,500 each. To be basically.
I don't know how people are okay with that though. That shit is
like
crazy.
rich. I feel like it's rich kids.
Yeah,
it's like,
but even if I'm rich, like damn.
Like, I'm not giving my kid $5,000 to spend. No, you got to go work and live with roommates to learn.
Like, I wish. I'm hating because I wish. You know what I could do with an extra 5 stacks a month? Like, oof.
I know, right? But how about your biggest strength? Weakness is comfort.
My biggest strength is my consistency. That's for sure. My discipline and my consistency. Like, nothing's going to keep me away from sleeping. Nothing's going to keep me away from the gym. Nothing's going to keep me away from doing what I feel comfortable doing. Like if I'm a little thrown off, I'm very set in my ways, and I like getting that done. I think it's gotten me to where I am, and I don't see it changing. My mother's like that. My father's like that. My mother's way like super duper disciplined. So
really, that's amazing.
She's 60. She just turned 68, and I'm talking about she's super consistent. Still goes dancing, takes care of herself, eats well. So I think health is very important to me.
Yeah.
If I don't feel healthy, the rest of it, what's the point? So.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that discipline allows me to stay consistent with everything else too.
Cool. Yeah. It's funny when you said comfort, like going to bed early. Last Saturday, I want to share with everybody, I went to bed at 8 p.m.
Sick. That sounds
amazing,
That sounds normal for me.
And then I woke up at like 5:30 and took Bruno to Coney Island. It was empty. It was amazing. What a great little adventure on a Sunday morning.
Coney Island. So when I was in Long Island City High School, we used to cut school and go to Coney Island. That was our thing. I haven't been there in ages. I heard it's beautiful now.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and my dog loves like running on and it was empty, and I literally like I cried because I was praying, and I was like, life is so beautiful. Like,
see, but that's what I'm talking about. Like that's present. That's staying present.
Yeah,
I needed that. A lot of that rushing. You know, we're all doing it. We have to rush because we got bills to pay. Rent is high. Food is high. So we're not really staying present ever. You know what I mean? So it's tough. Like I need to start getting back to doing that. Like even just coming to the city, taking long walks, like all that. Like.
Cross the bridge sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's so nice. Yeah. Like I'm a runner, so I cross bridges a lot. It's so beautiful. And yeah, to me, like, that's why one of the reasons I love running so much is because it's very meditative for me.
Definitely.
Like my brain switches off. Like I'm not, and it's just like thoughts come and go, kind of like meditation, you know?
Of course, I could see that. I need to start running more. I work out. I hit the the treadmill and stuff like that. But I just want to start making myself run outside. I've never been that guy to, I'm gonna run 5 miles. Like, when you told me you ran 7 miles, I was like, 7 miles? Like, I will go crazy. I think I have a little...
That like, running...
ADD, for me.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But then once you get into the rhythm, you just, like, go.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself. So once it starts getting warmer, because I'm too old to be in this cold.
pussy.
Damn. Sheesh.
Okay, so I wanted to quote. I literally saved one of your Instagram stories because I thought it was so beautiful. So since we've been talking about God, this is kind of on topic. This quote goes, "I am not a theologian or a scholar, but I am very aware of the fact that pain is necessary to all of us. In my own life, I think I can honestly say that out of the deepest pain has come the strongest conviction of the presence of God and the love of God." And that's a quote from Elizabeth Elliot that you posted. And
Powerful.
I thought it was so powerful, and I wanted to kind of like discuss the second part of the quote because I'm not sure I'm understanding it yet. So I think I can honestly say that out of the deepest pain has come the strongest conviction of the presence of God and the love of God. I think I'm understanding it now. So I read it 5 times.
So what I take from that is like you got to go to your darkest place, and then when that happens, I think that's when you understand how much you need God and how much He's your rock. Like for me, it all goes back to like I was always a man of faith since I was a kid, a child of God. I would say I wasn't a man back then, but I was always that until when I was like 32, 33, and I started having that bad panic attacks, anxiety, depression. I used to get on my knees and literally be like, yo, this can't be it. Like, this can't be my life. Like, I can't get out of my house, nothing. Like, and then when all that started passing and I was praying and trying to push through, I was like, what I took from it was, I didn't think of anything else but asking Him to take it away from me. Like, and it was just natural. So you know what I mean? So I'm literally
makes
like,
me want to cry because
I'm literally like, you know, it's almost overwhelming for me to even think about, because for me, when I'm my calmest or I feel the most myself is when I'm close to God. And I try to keep that. And this world is hard, don't get me wrong. I sin like everybody else. I make a ton of mistakes. But
that's what makes us human too.
Exactly. And that's one thing I'm trying to like tell myself, not to be so hard on myself and to enjoy life a little more. And but yeah, that's the quote. That's what I get from that is like, when it's hard, you see who's really, you know, that's all I need at the end of the day. Like everything I could say, regrets, this, that, like all I need is God at the end of the day.
I love that. You know, I genuinely think that Rabbi Stone, actually, shout out Rabbi Stone. I was at their house for dinner a couple of Fridays ago, and
awesome.
I don't know why I mentioned something about therapy, and Rabbi was like, "No, you don't need therapy. You need prayer. You need God." And you know what?
That.
I agree. I genuinely agree because I've done therapy, tried, it never worked.
Yeah.
What worked was like journaling and like praying.
Yeah.
And asking God to remove like the obsession of mine, asking God to like, or just turning my problems over to God.
That's it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly. Take them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I was feeling actually very anxious last weekend. And like I said, I was like, enough. Like maybe actually not just last weekend. It was like Christmas and then January. I'm like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
Let me sleep. Let me pray. Let me go to Coney Island.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge though. Like you allowed yourself to go there and just be in the presence of God. Like you shut everything off and you allowed Him in. Like a lot of people look at me and they're like, oh, religion. I'm like, no, it's not about religion. It's about my connection with God, like my creator. You know what I mean? Like you could call it what you want. That's what I'm going to say. I feel it naturally. There's nobody telling me or nobody told me to feel that. You know what I'm saying? It was just something where I wish everybody could feel it. That's really what I say. Like, I just love people and I just want them to feel the same comfort I do. I'll never be one of those guys to push something on somebody, but you know, people are always like, oh, you're religious. I'm like, no, I'm not religious. It's not about religion.
What's religious anyway?
You know, religion is a man-made thing. You know what I mean? It's a business like everything else.
Yeah.
You know, if it makes you feel better, go ahead. But I just need the presence of God to be able to pray, to give thanks, gratitude, love thy neighbor is like the most important thing, which I think we're losing now.
Yeah.
You know,
all the 10 commandments are such
simple.
Basic, and this is why we need direction, or else we're gonna kill each other.
No matter what you believe in, if you read those 10 and you disagree with it, that's something you need to deal with. Like,
don't kill.
Yeah.
Don't sleep with your friend's wife. That's wrong.
Exactly.
Don't respect your parents, no matter what.
Treating people the way you want to be treated. Love thy neighbor. Like, it takes a village to raise children too. Like even that, I think that's where a lot of the issues come. Like everybody's so like, don't tell me what to do. Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. It's about us common courtesy, love, sharing our lives together. Like, you just telling me about your life and me telling you, like, that shit helps.
That's so much, because like, you're not alone, and like the same solution works. But do you have like a specific denomination of Christianity that you follow, since your dad is Greek and your mom is, I'm guessing, Catholic?
My mother's Catholic. Yeah. I was baptized Greek Orthodox when I was when I was born, but but it's the same thing. Like, it's Greek Orthodox Christians.
Yeah.
They leave that part out because they just want you to think you're Greek Orthodox and go to the church and don't. To each their own. I'm not trying to put nothing down, but I just look at myself as a Christian man. Like,
Christian man.
I don't say nothing else. Like, maybe there's more to it. You know, people who read the Bible and are heavy in it. I read the Bible as well, but anybody who's deep into it, I have a lot to learn. I haven't even touched the base, but nothing can touch my connection and my relationship with God. That's it. So like, beautiful. Nobody could tell me anything. Like, I don't care how much you study it. I don't care who you are. Like, there's nothing you could say, oh, you don't know this. Okay, I don't, bro. So show me.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love that. Are you working, switch gears a little bit?
Yeah.
I wanted to know if you're working on anything right now.
My biggest priority right now is to get a manager in an agency again, because I just want
I was literally, I forgot to ask you, is it hard to get an agent?
Yeah, it is right now. I was with a manager. He was great, but I'm trying to get with an agency or a manager that's going to get me in the right rooms. Like we were saying earlier, like, I would love to be on Power and cast for that kind of stuff. I wasn't casted for none of that stuff. Which I think it was.
You went to castings for that? Oh, you didn't.
I wasn't, and it's like, yo, I want to be in those rooms. You know what I mean? I'm ready to be in those rooms. I'm ready to build. I'm just trying to find the right route. So, you know, obviously new headshots, updating my reel. That's why I even liked working with Kamal, because it was just keeping me fresh.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, you sound really good. Like, I was just watching one of the clips from the show before I came here. It's like, wow, yeah, he sounds cool, because you're from Queens, and you know, you have a very distinct appearance. You're very handsome, but like, it's hard to tell like what you are ethnically. I don't mean to sound racist or anything.
No,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Of course.
And that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Because that means you can be like in different roles.
Yeah.
And
Which is what
you
I want.
sound cool. Like, I noticed you from the get-go. I was I was actually curious. I remember thinking, like, he's either Greek or Romanian.
Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know where I'm from. My mom is all mixed too. She got some relatives from Spain. You know, they think from the Greek side we have a little Italian in us. I'm just a Christian man.
Yeah, like, and Puerto Ricans could be like me or darker.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, just grinding out. I'm just trying to just find my way and just move forward.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I always was under the impression that it's easier to get an agent as an actor than as a writer, but I guess I'm proven wrong.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. Even in the acting world, it's like you need that referral. Like, I send my stuff out all the time. You know, I did it now. But the way I got my first agent, the second agent, it's all like, oh, I have Greg. He's looking for, you know, look at his stuff. I think, and I get it, because they get so much in the mail. They're getting so much people asking them for representation. So it's like, if you don't have that with somebody who's already on the roster, and I hate asking for favors.
Yeah, I know.
But if it comes at this point, like, I'm just ready to, because those rooms are hard to get into without
connections,
the manager, and without the agency. You know what I mean? So it's important. Like,
yeah, no, it's the same thing with, like, so I've written a novel, and now I'm at the point that I need to start pitching, or started already a little bit, started sending it out to agents. So the way to go about it's not so easy. You can't just like send the same email to everybody. You got to find an agent that perhaps represented authors whose vibe is similar to yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, and nobody is the same. No book is the same, but like, you have to find some similarities. Yeah. And even then, it's like no.
And that's
guarantees.
what I'm trying to do now.
Oh.
That's a perfect way to say it. Like, I should have been looking at it in that sense. Like, yo, who's casting for Power? Who's doing? You know, which agent is sending their roster out to them more? You know what I mean? Like,
or like maybe which agent represented, or like, who represented this actor from Power?
Exactly.
And I'm not talking about 50 Cent. I mean, like, someone.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Not as famous.
No, definitely. Like Joey Badass.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, he's.
Oh my God.
He crushed that role.
He's so hot.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, he's just so swagged out. Like, what a swag.
Yeah,
yo.
He's super talented.
I mean, to be honest, everybody is just like.
He's an artist.
So fashionable in that show.
Yeah, he's an artist. Yeah, they crushed that.
Oh
Yeah, they crushed that.
Which one's your favorite? Which was, if you had to pick?
I don't think I could be on Raising Kanan because of my look. I don't think I look retro, but I mean with the clothing.
Yeah, I don't look retro.
With the
I feel like I look retro.
Definitely, you can get on that. Yeah, with the clothing and stuff like that, they could definitely finagle things. I really love Power.
The first one, right?
Yeah, all of them. I mean, I just like the vibe of it. I like
honestly like Raising Kanan is, I think, phenomenal.
Yeah, Raising Kanan was fire. I liked even when Tommy had his own.
Tommy's hilarious.
When he had his own show in Chicago, I was
and
like,
he's from Queens too. I'm like,
is he really?
No, well, in the show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know, in real life.
In real life, I don't think he is. I think he's from overseas. The overseas actors are taking over.
I think he's British.
Yeah, they're taking over.
But his last name is Polish. So
really?
I'm wondering if he's got maybe like Polish.
He
totally looks like
Polish.
a Polak.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was crushing that series too.
He's so funny to me. Yeah. I'm like, he's like a male white version of someone from the hood.
We have a big Polish population in Astoria too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like a Greenpoint?
Greenpoint is, you already know, it's all Polish. It used to be. I don't know how it is now.
It still is, but like it's essentially called North Williamsburg, so it's very expensive. And East Williamsburg is Bushwick. Like what?
Yeah. I had people telling me like, this part of Astoria is called this now, this part of Long Island City is called this, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, they just want to put new names on everything.
Because it's it will sell better, right?
Exactly, it sells. It's all bullshit.
I heard that like Nolita even, like,
Soho,
like Nolita is a fake.
Of course. I never heard it. I don't even know what that is. You just said Nolita, and I don't even know what it is.
But
I've heard of it.
North of Little Italy, I think.
Wow. That's crazy.
Soho is south of Houston. And back in I heard that in the 70s, nobody called it anything. It was just the Lower East Side. Yeah. All of that. Like all of Lower Manhattan. Yeah. So I think it's interesting.
The Lower East Side was crazy when I was a kid.
You used to go there?
So many places. It wasn't like that growing up, like where everybody really went to other neighborhoods. It was just like you had to stay in your own. Even in Astoria, like we didn't really cross over. Like if I was on 23rd Ave, I didn't go across the bridge to the other side. Like I didn't really go 35th Avenue, Long Island City. There was nothing there anyway.
Yeah.
But it was just everything. Yeah, it was just different times. It was just so ill. Like I wish I could just go. I could just go back to the way it was. Like everybody knew each other. It was so family oriented. Like it was just so dope. But I sound like an old person now. So
no, I feel the same way. Like when I haven't even been to New York my entire life. But like sometimes I go to Williamsburg where I used to live. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there was like this restaurant here and that coffee shop there, and
I got people telling me where the best pizzas. I'm like, yo, I've been here 41 years. You ain't gonna tell me where the best pizza is in Astoria. Go pay your $3,000 rent. Leave me alone, please. Get out of here with that bullshit.
Well, thank you very much. I got this, guys.
Tip City in Astoria, yeah.
It's amazing representing. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Greg.